What is up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video of a Russian guy talking about the news coming out of Russia. Now, we got several really interesting topics, and the topic that we're going to be beginning in is talking about Pavel Durov, the creator of Telegram, which was arrested yesterday in France when he decided to go to his favorite restaurant in Paris. Pavel Durov, the creator of Telegram, was arrested in France and facing up 20 years in prison because he does not give out the information that happens inside of Telegram chats. Now, I'm not an expert or anything like this, so I can never state the fact that Pavel Durov, the creator of Telegram, has never ever given out information to any governments at all whatsoever, because there are rumors saying that he did give out some information from Telegram to the FSB way before all of this. So I'm not 100% sure. I hope that it is just rumors. But a little history about Pavel Durov himself. He was actually the Russian Mark Zuckerberg because he created a Russian social network called Kontakti, which is basically like Facebook. In 2014, he was pressed by the FSB to give out information on all the things that are happening inside of Kontakti, so he decided not to do that, but to sell his shares in the company and leave to Dubai, where he actually created this Telegram chat platform, which you'd be surprised, a lot of Russians, Ukrainians, and post-Soviet countries actually use even today. Russians use Telegram to get real information about what's going on in Russia. Obviously, there's a lot of propaganda channels, but this is the easiest way to find the more real information on what's actually happening in Russia. Matter of fact, I get a lot of information about what is going on in Russia currently at this time of moment from Telegram. They just have so many different channels where you could really source out some really interesting information. So why was Durov arrested in France in the first place? Well, France are accusing him of not helping out the French government gaining information about what's going on inside to curb the criminality inside of France. Telegram is actually accused of failure of cooperating over substance trafficking, fraud, and different content that I'm not going to be mentioning on YouTube because they don't like mentions like this. But Telegram previously denied having insufficient moderation. So Pavel Durov was born in Russia and lives in Dubai. He holds dual citizenship from United Arab Emirates and France. So he's actually a French citizen. So since he's arrested in France and he has a French citizenship, means that he's going to be not deported or anything like that. He's going to be in court in France and going through all of this as a French citizen. Now the question is the United Arab Emirates going to do anything about this? Are they going to be talking to Macron? Are they going to be asking them to leave alone our citizen? What are you guys doing? The question is, why was this done? Because this looks like some sort of a special operation. And why did Durov go into Europe? It's been a very long time since he actually traveled somewhere outside from the post-Soviet countries and United Arab Emirates. So he was basically just there all the time, never left. But surprisingly enough, he decided to go and eat at a French restaurant in Paris. Sounds a bit sketchy to me. What do you guys think about this? But France is saying that his company is not cooperating, and that's why they're accusing him of all those charges. Now, the question is, accusing of a person who owns a chat platform of whatever is done inside of there. For example, imagine somebody buys a car for some really bad purpose, to crash into people or do whatever. Are you going to be suing the person who owned the car and drove the car, or are you going to be suing and putting in jail the creator of that car? So imagine if something happened with a Chevy car, you're going to be putting in jail the owner of General Motors, or what? There's a lot of questions about this situation and not a lot of updates, so we will have to just wait and see what is going to be happening and what sort of updates we get. But I do have a small video fragment from a Russian state television that could be the answer to all of this.
I want to say to all those who want to block Telegram, just yesterday we guided the Iskander on Telegram, our artillery is guided by Telegram, our aviation is guided by Telegram. Whether someone likes it or not, this is reality. We are fighting on the internet, we, have drone broadcasts through Discord, we have guidance through Telegram, we work with our sources of information through Telegram, someone likes it or not.
What do you guys think? Does this have something to do with this? Does the French government think that if there was no Telegram and they put the guy in jail or whatever, that there wouldn't be trafficking and all of those criminalities are going to just disappear? No, they're just going to be using old resources. This has nothing to do with this. This is a very interesting story with a lot of questions that are currently unanswered whatsoever. But let's hope that we get those answers quite soon. Now, talking about Russia, a bill has been introduced in Russia for the people who were criminals and then they were taken out of their jails and sent over to the front line, and if they survive and return back home, they will have amnesty and their criminal records are going to be completely cleaned. Now, this is a story that I've always wanted to talk about. There's a lot of stories with people who has done really terrible things. They went to jail, for example, 20 years, and then they signed a contract with the Russian military, went over to fight in Ukraine, came back alive, got amnesty, came back alive, did the same crimes, went back to jail, signed another contract, and went back to the war zone. This is unbelievable. How could you be letting crazy criminals who kill people let out to a war zone and then let them go back in to do really horrible things inside of Russia again, put them in jail, and have this never-ending circle? Is the Russian government trying to clean up the criminals this way? Are they hoping that they will not return? That is a very interesting question. I also wanted to show you this BBQ tank. You probably never heard of this, but this is how it looks like.
Вопрос дополнительной защиты танка Т-80 решили радикально. Подобные конструкции в зоне СВО называют «царь-мангал».
Так танк Т-80 выглядит внутри этой металлической скорлупы. Здесь установили решетки, чтобы танк немножко продувался. Здесь мы видим уже цельные стальные листы толщиной 8 миллиметров. Ну а вот это танкисты придумали и установили такую вот походную кровать. Вот так она открывается, фиксируется на цепи, и можно даже полежать и немного отдохнуть между боевыми задачами.
Крепко это все держится, работает отлично. Как бы вот уже сколько катаемся, ничего не расшатывается, ничего не разваливается.
Командир танка с позывным «Михей» результатом доволен. Обзор ограничен, но для штурмовых действий то, что надо. Когда необходимо проломить линию обороны, основная угроза – противотанковые мины и FPV-дроны боевиков.
So you could see Russians are using their top-notch technologies. And guys, when I say Russians, I'm a Russian myself, but this is Russians' technologies to fight against drones is by welding a big box on top of a tank, have some metal fencing or metal whatever the heck that was on the front of it to keep away the drones as well. And there's a bed there as well, so a person could be sleeping in a war zone in a tank, which I think is a bad idea considering the amount of drones flying around the place. In general, what do you guys think? Does this actually help in a way? Probably does, but doesn't the turret have to like twist? It's not gonna twist when you have a flipping huge box of metal on top of it. I just want to show you this top-of-the-line Russian technology in warfare. Talking about warfare, people in Russia, in Kursk, are actually starting to wake up. And here's a video proof of that.
Люди, поверьте, то, что говорят по телевизору, это неправда. Там все одна ложь. Никто, просто никто. Администрация сбежала, полиция сбежала, пожарные сбежали, все сбежали, никого не предупредили. Все сидят по подвалам. Все рухнуло, все сметено. Там просто кошмар творится, понимаете? То, что там показывают по телевизору, вообще не верьте. Там просто ничего нет в Суджи, просто ничего нет.
You could see that those ladies are saying that they were left and all of this. The thing is, some people are going to believe this, but a lot of people are going to be forgetting about this the next day because they will watch this video, for example, and then they will turn on their television where in the television they say that everything is perfectly fine, everything is going to plan, Kursk is not invaded, Kursk is a situation, like the president of Russia says. Just unbelievable. You know, some people are starting to wake up, realizing that the government doesn't care about them whatsoever. But the problem is they're only starting to wake up when they're actually in a situation where the war has actually touched them and they've received absolutely zero help from the president. Ooh, and now the most interesting thing. Me making those videos as a Russian citizen is very dangerous. And it was dangerous before. But I love to keep you guys informed at what is actually happening in Russia right now. And you know what they did? They made a new law, which they're putting in place to get people like me. And let me read this out to you. Those who left are put on protocol. The government of the Russian Federation approves the distribution of articles of the administrative code to those who left Russia. That's me. The Russian government has conceptually supported a bill giving the authorities the right to draw up administrative protocols for Russians who live abroad and commit offenses from there. We're talking about articles related to extremism, abuse of freedom of speech, and discrediting the Russian army. What the heck are they smoking? How could you abuse the freedom of speech? Are they out of their mind? Abusing free? Have you guys ever heard of somebody abusing the freedom of speech? Let's read this. The corresponding amendments to the administrative code in 2023 were proposed by the State Council of Tatarstan. The government of the Russian Federation believes that the proposed norms can increase the level of protection of the interests of society and the state. That sounds like North Korea. The courts are already attracting citizens who have been living outside of the Russian Federation for many years for recent posts on social networks. Yes, if you guys did not know, the Russian Federation is going out for Russian citizens who speak out their mind and who are against on what's happening in Russia right now. This is a very dangerous situation. And how do people not understand this? The quote, interests of society and the state. That sounds something like communism right there. That's some North Korean speeches. They are bolting everything. So even if you don't agree what Russia is doing, and for example, right, you leave Russia because you don't agree on what's going on inside of Russia, you leave to another country and you do a post saying, oh, on Facebook, for example, I don't agree with what Russia is doing. War is very bad. I'm up for peace. You could have a criminal case being written up to you. And if you're in a country which is very friendly with Russia, you could get arrested in that country, deported back to Russia, and sent over to a Siberian gulag. I don't know, guys. This is just the reality I'm living in right now. And this is the crazy news of the day. I hope that you guys enjoyed it very much, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment about all of this that you guys just saw. And I'll see you guys next time.